I got her all the good music there was in the world, yes, sir. I bought her a Victor Victrola.
Say, Mom and me decided that if we wanted to be riding style, we'd better get one of these here Hail Columbia Happy Land talking machines.
Hi everybody. Boy, it's been a while. I've been crazy busy. So I've really not had a chance to carve out some time to do a video. And it's been close to 2 months, I think. But what you're seeing here is part of my presentation for this video. You're looking at probably the nicest condition Model E Edison Standard flowered horn that I've ever found. The Model E, this is the only, besides the Maroon Gems red horn, this is the only colored horn that you could get for an Edison phonograph with the Edison label on it. And this was a beautiful blue with chrysanthemums, or I guess these are chrysanthemums, flowers on it. But usually when you find these horns, if you're lucky enough to find one, this paint is badly damaged. It flakes. You can see a little bit of flaking here, but it just did not adhere well to the horn, and so consequently a lot of these Model E, standard Model E blue flowered horns are found in pretty bad condition, with the paint mostly flaking off them. So I was really pleased to find this one many years ago, and I thought I'd throw it on one of my standards here and include it in the presentation. The other thing that I want to show you is this very unusual crane that I have. For years and years, this horn was, or this crane was folded up, and I didn't know how to put the thing together. You know, it's like a Rube Goldberg contraption, sort of. So the horn, instead of most horns that go over the top and attach, you know, here, this one clamps onto the cabinet front, and you have a little foot here that goes under the cabinet, and it, you know, screws in here and comes up here, goes around there, and it's quite a contraption. And thankfully a man on the internet posted a picture of his, and then I figured out how to put mine together, because mine was all folded up and apart, and I thought I was missing some pieces, but it turns out I had all the pieces to it, which was good. This part here telescopes back in. Anyway, this is the Chicago, oh boy, I can't remember now, but this is the Chicago horn crane. I think this is what this crane is, and it was made in Chicago. I don't know if it was carried by the Babson brothers, who were really big jobbers, if you will, in Chicago back in the turn of the century days. But anyway, it's a really hard horn crane to find. It's neat, it works, and it's just pretty funky, you know, looking. And another thing I want to show you is I'm going to feature in this video, and I'm sorry for the poor lighting, but this has the it's a plain old common Model B Edison Standard, but it has the horizontal carriage, it has the reducer adapter, because the carriage hole was really made for a Diamond B reproducer, but I thought I would, for something neat to do, I thought I would put in the reducer ring. You can see that little ring there, along with the angle adapter, and a Model H reproducer, and presto changeo, you can use the small H or C reproducer using the reducer ring and this little angle adapter. And this has the 2 and 4 minute combination that somebody or a dealer attached on here for the original owners of this phonograph. So this phonograph is capable of playing 2 and 4 minute cylinders, and it has the horizontal carriage with the Model H or Model C reproducers, Model H in this case, so you can play the nice wax ambrals, whereas the Diamond B, which this carriage was made for, would cut the heck out of wax cylinders. Okay, so anyway, that is it for the kind of neat things that I wanted to include in this video. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you a story about the cylinder that I'm going to play here. And it's blue amberol, cylinder number 5049 from 1925, and it's the Death of Floyd Collins. So when we come back, I'm going to tell you a quick story about the Death of Floyd Collins cylinder here, because it's a very, very interesting story, to me anyway. Okay, so see you in a few. Thanks. Okay everybody, I'm back, and as promised, I'm going to tell you a quick story about this cylinder that I want to play, the Death of Floyd Collins. For years and years, you know, I've accumulated copies of the Death of Floyd Collins cylinder here, and I never really, you know, knew what the story was, you know, but then one day I decided to do some research on the internet, and I found out that it was a really fascinating story of what happened to this poor guy, Floyd Collins. He was a caver, a cave explorer, a spelunker, if you will, in Kentucky. Back in 1925, he was trying to help his family's business. His family owned a farm that had a cave, crystal cave, but they were a long ways away from the main road. So consequently, not many people, even though they hung a sign out there on the main road, not many people would come to their cave. Most of the people would go to Mammoth Caves, which was right off the main drag, I believe, in Kentucky, nearby. So what Floyd Collins decided to do, he's a young man, he decided he would ask some of the farmers that were nearby, that owned land nearby, if he could use their land and try to find a passageway that would link Mammoth Caves, which is right on the main road, to a passageway to their cave, Crystal Cave, and thereby attract more tourists, more customers, and thereby more income for people that wanted to look at their cave. And what happened was, he spent 3 weeks trying to open up a passageway from Mammoth Caves to Crystal Caves, and he got stuck. He dislodged a rock, and he was like 55 or 60 feet below the surface, you know, the ground, and he dislodged a rock, and it locked him in place, and you know, he ended up dying in the cave. His parents tried to, you know, and everybody, you know, around tried to figure out how in the world they could free their son from this horrible, tight spot that he was in underground in the cave. And they spent 2 weeks digging a hole that was parallel to where he was stuck, and it was of no use. He ended up dying like 10 days after he got stuck of starvation and exposure. So it's a sad story, true story, happened in January 1925 to Floyd Collins. Anyway, so without further ado, let's listen to Vernon Dalhart singing about what happened to the poor cave explorer Floyd Collins. And as always, thanks so much for stopping in. Here we go.
The fate of Floyd Collins, lad, we all knew well. His face was fair and handsome, his heart was true and brave. His body now lies sleeping in a lonely sandstone cave. How sad the story, it fills our eyes with tears. The memory too will linger for many, many years. A broken-hearted father who tried his boy to save will now weep tears of sorrow at the door of Floyd's cave. Father, don't be sad. I'll tell you all my troubles in an awful dream I had. I dreamed that I was a prisoner, my life I could not save. I cried, oh must I perish within this silent cave. The rescue party labored, they worked both night and day to move the mighty barrier that stood within the way. To rescue Floyd Collins, this was their battle cry. We'll never know, we'll never let Floyd Collins die. But on that fatal morning, the sun rose in the sky. The workers still were busy, we'll save him by and by. But oh, how sad the ending, his life could not be saved. His body then was sleeping in the lonely sandstone cave. Young people, oh, big warning from Floyd Collins' fate. And get right with your maker before it is too late. It may not be a sand cave in which we find our doom, but at the bar of judgment we